about the minimum drinking age. Our continent was Asia, so we chose Russia as a country we were gonna analyze and talk about. And we're gonna speak about the effects on the social, economic, and medical aspects about the minimum drinking age in this country. Each of my partners investigated in the subject, and they're gonna each give you some interesting facts about Russia's minimum drinking age. So we're gonna start with Cristobal, and he's gonna.
Okay, here on this text box, I will alcohol equals money, because that's what everybody thinks about Russia. You would think, well, their culture, they suffer from alcoholism all over the country. About 2 million people of their 118 million citizens suffer from alcoholism. People are dying a lot because of this disease. It's actually a disease, and this affects the economy. Why? Because even though you have a lot of income from alcohol, you are having a great decrease on the economy because of the deaths that alcohol causes. And people are also missing their jobs because they're drunk all the time. And this is because Russia has no legal drinking age. I mean, you could buy it when you're 18, but you can drink it from any age, and people start drinking when they're very little. So that problem, that is alcoholism, affects a lot Russia's economy. The government is trying to take action on this problem, but it's not working because it's like the culture from Russia since their beginning as a country, since they were the Soviet Union. In 1985, they tried to release an anti-alcohol campaign, but this resulted in an 8 billion decrease in the economy, but that didn't affect the citizens that didn't make the citizens stop buying alcohol. Instead, they started to buy more, and the government started to worry because that led for the citizens to buy from illegal sources instead from legal sources, and that increased crime. So this is like the contrary to popular belief, alcohol is not what impulses Russia's economy.
Okay, I'm Isamar, and I'm going to talk about the social aspects. Well, as Cristobal said, in Russia there is no drinking age regulation, but the age to purchase alcohol is 18, and studies say that in all the social classes, both genders overdrink regularly. The Russian culture is known for their drinking habits, and the difference between Russia and other countries is that they prefer to drink vodka, while in other countries they have preferences for other wine, beer, etc. And society encourages a lot of alcohol because it is an excellent source of revenue. It gives a lot of money, not a lot like Cristobal said, but it is a big amount of the government's money. I investigated, and I found that 33% of the government's money comes from alcohol, so that's why society sometimes encourages this. And there are many effects on society because alcohol makes violence, causes a lot of issues in families, in neighborhoods, like car accidents, many conflicts. And it also affects society because the death rates, as Cristobal said, increased. And I read an article that where in Russia they blamed vodka for the increased rates of deaths and also of health and medical issues.
In the medical aspect, we find in Russia that a lot of teenagers like to drink in early ages. So one problem here is that a young's body cannot cope alcohol like an adult's can. So drinking is more harmful for teens than adults because their brain are still developing throughout adolescence well into adulthood, so they can get a lifelong damage in their brain functions. Overall, in Russia, 43% of deaths of men are between the ages of 23 and 44 are by alcohol consumption. So this is a big amount of people that are dying because of this problem. Also, doctors suggest that men should not drink more than 25 units per week, and women should not take more than 14 units of alcohol per week. These amounts can sound like very little, but you can still get drunk with 2 sessions of these amounts. The main problems with the brain is that the alcohol won't let the brain to develop like 100% of their functions, because some cells will die with this drug, and if you drink the alcohol in the teens, in the early ages.
Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say that Russia has no minimum drinking age, but the minimum to purchase the alcohol is 18. We can see that a lot of Russia's economy comes from selling of vodka, because it's the prime alcohol and product of this country, and it causes a lot of debts annually, and it's a big problem for this country. And it's socially accepted to drink in a small age, and it's also a medical issue, because when you start drinking in a little age, your brain doesn't develop the way it's supposed to do. So this is it, the impression.